This is a homage beat.
Most people care about taking care of the earth.
Um, yes and no.
Mm-hmm.
Cause I mean, you can just go along with the emotions of your day and just do what you do, and I mean, and not realize some of the things you do, the effect it may have on just the earth in itself, like driving a car. I know
Mm-hmm.
in some ways can affect the atmosphere and the
Yeah.
earth and just overall. I mean, I'm guilty of littering before.
Mm-hmm.
I'm quick to be like an apple core and throw it out like the birds that eat it.
It's
So
biodegradable.
it's biodegradable. Like just throw it out. It'll be alright. Don't worry about it. So I mean, um, personally, I would like to say that I care about the earth, but I mean,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I really show it.
And I think that's
do.
real because I think one of the reasons, and I guess I would answer the same thing. I think there's people who do, so I don't want to like say that there's not people who care about the earth. We
Yeah.
usually make fun of those people, like call them tree huggers and stuff like that. But you know, they may have
That's messed-
legitimate reasons, you know, and they do. But I think
Yeah,
by
that's
and
real,
large,
that's real.
most people don't, and I would say I'm guilty of that myself. Where it's just like because we don't see the immediate effects, that it doesn't affect our immediate life,
Yeah.
we don't care. You know,
True.
and again, it's just so self-centered. Well, it's not affecting me.
Yeah.
Then I really don't care about it.
Yeah.
And this wasn't my quote, so I don't want to take any credit for this. But I was doing some research, and this person said this is the antithesis of a rapacious nature
Uh-huh.
of the consumptive society where humans exploit everything around them for endless sensory gratification.
Indeed.
And this is a lot of words, a lot of big words.
Yeah.
But essentially, it was an elaborate way of saying that people are greedy and only care about themselves. And we were just saying that's like we don't really care about how we treat the earth, you know, especially if we don't see any direct results. You know, I know like at our because we live in an apartment complex, and it's like don't throw away furniture. How many of us throw away furniture at the thing when we're not supposed to throw away furniture? We don't care because it's like, man, I just got to get rid of this trash. I really don't care how it gets taken care of, how it gets done. I'm just like, I don't care, and we don't give it a second thought because it doesn't necessarily affect us. But I say this. I say there's a niche. Well, actually, I say garbage reveals a lot about us. I say there's a niche in archaeology called garboology, and it sounds kind of crazy. I'm like, that's not a real thing, but apparently it is.
I'm trying to figure out where you found that
I
at.
would Google, I'd just be Googling stuff and just looking up things. But it's kind of crazy because we laugh at it, but it's like, it's real. I say, garboology is a scientific study of trash and the way it reflects upon the lifestyle of a group of people. This may sound silly, but this discipline has caught the eye of many law enforcement and government agencies, many who use the practice to help thwart crime by searching for evidence of illegal activity. You know, nonetheless, studying a person's garbage does reveal a lot about them. And I start talking about just America's garbage and what does that, you know, reveal because, you know, and I'll get into us just even personally, but just looking at it just from, I guess, a national level and knowing what you know about America, what would you say America's garbage reveals?
Just looking at it, myself included, I mean, it makes me think about a lack of contentment, man. When I really read it and started to think about the different things that I've thrown away before
Mm-hmm.
or done, some more lack of contentment, and sometimes just a lack of accountability for what we're responsible for, man.
Mm-hmm.
It shows that in a way. There are people, plenty that are more responsible, may recycle, may do different things to make sure that they cutting down. But I mean, I think it just shows a lack of accountability. Just overall, like the billions of pounds. If you really think about what's a billion of pounds of garbage look like,
Yeah.
it's like just when you go to a landfill and you just see all this trash just piled up. It's crazy. But you don't really think about it unless it's something that you have to deal with. So.
No. Because like I said, for those listening, I know it's just a lot of information I'm throwing at you, but I just want you to just get this picture in your mind because it's something that we really think about. We really actually care. I'm
Yeah.
gonna say in regards to America's garbage, the facts are alarming. On average, Americans throw away 7.1 pounds of garbage a day. In addition, 25% of all America's food supply ends up in a landfill. Another way of saying this is America throws away, the point that you were getting to, 28 billion pounds of food each year.
Yeah.
And it's like crazy to think about that. And then I had a stat about like just toys. I say one of the more alarming statistics, the United States is home to only 4% of the world's children, yet American parents buy and throw away 40% of the world's toys. And then and you kind of answered this, but I guess I want to give more of a concrete example. But for me, just again, it's so easy to look outwardly, and just say, man, Americans are crazy. But no, that includes me as well.
Yeah.
Just you said something about contentment. And I know one of my vices is, and I don't want to blame it on New York because I'm sure there's other sneakerheads out there who are not just from New York, but I think that's one of the reasons why I was more concerned about it because in New York you just got to stay fly. And growing up, my parents they weren't spending $100 on shoes, and that's not happening. So when I got money and got a job, oh my goodness, like I went crazy, and just going to my closet and just seeing all the stuff that I have, and as I grow and mature, and I'm like, man, that could have been bills. All the money that I spent on shoes, and then it's like you wear them a couple of times and they get scuffed and all this, that, and the third, and it's like, who am I really trying to impress? And it's just like it's so wasteful. I only got I only have 2 feet, but I got like 10, probably more than 10 pairs of shoes, and it's just like, man, is that something I need to keep in check? But it's like, and honestly, it's like I love it, and I haven't bought a pair of shoes in a while, but just looking back and just seeing, man, how it's kind of ingrained in American society. It's just like more, when it's like you really don't need all of that. Do you have any examples, any vices that you definitely bought and it's like, man, this is kind of a waste. I really honestly did not need this.
Man, I'm a guilty of the food statistic. I mean, buying just random stuff because I want to try it because it looks good. The other day I bought bought this big bag of popcorn and it was like a new bag and I just wanted it because it was new. Bought it, ate one handful. It's been in there a week. Like, it's gonna go in the trash. So I mean, I've done that. I mean, when I think about it, I wouldn't call myself a sneakerhead, but I mean, I have a lot of sneakers that I look at and like I'm the guy that's if I find 3 pairs of shoes I like, them the shoes you're gonna see me in.
Yeah.
Probably most of the time, but the other 8 or 9 that's in there, they kind of just sitting there. So I mean, I'm right there with it, man. I do that. Man, I got like mad DVDs at the house. I got DVDs still in the wrapper. Like, what am I gonna do with that? Like, do people even watch DVDs? Like, still, so it's like, I don't know, man. I got a lot. I mean, I'm part of the thing. Something I did want to ask you though.
Go ahead.
Looking at those statistics and it said the thing about the toys. When I was reading it, just as a father yourself, got a little toddler. I know toddlers they got one thing one day they like to play with, and it's the thing they play with for a week, but then after they're done, it's probably done forever. What are your thoughts about that statistic with that?
It's kind of weird because it's like, it's gonna sound bad. It's like, I think I got Autumn some clothes, and I got them like the day after Christmas. So, and she's only 17 months. So for those listening, like even though it's Christmas, I ain't have nothing under the tree, anything like that for her. I think my parents or her, my in-laws may have gotten or something, but I didn't get her any like toy or anything like that because that makes sense to me. Like, why am I buying a toy for a kid and they're not gonna pay any attention to it? But it's like, I'll go ahead and buy some sneakers that I wear once, and I don't apply that same logic to myself, but I'll, apply it to my daughter, which what she's getting is less expensive than what I'm trying to get. But yeah, I have a clear, like, clarity of thought when it comes to I'm not wasting money on something that my daughter doesn't care about. We got a new vacuum cleaner and we still have the box, and all she does is just push the box around and she's completely content with that. So I'm like, why would I spend money on something when I can just give her this box to play with? So yeah, I think it's a good question though, because I think parents, and not to cast any judgment, they do like go all out for their children. It's like the children could care less, about what kind of toy that they get. But yeah, that stat is crazy that only 4% of the world's children are in America, yet American parents throw away 40% of the world's toys,
Yeah.
which is really crazy. And I'm glad that you asked that question, because a lot of times we don't think about it. We're just, just wanting to make sure our kids are happy or just have the newest thing. But it's like, the kid don't care anything about it.
Box and throw playing water bottles and stuff.
Yeah, like she'll just find anything to play with. Like she goes crazy with, the iPod charger cords. I'm like, leave it alone. But she'll just find anything to play with that is not for her. Things that are for her, she don't want to play with. Things that don't have anything to do with her, she wants to play with it. But I say this, in observing America's garbage, one can conclude that Americans are wasteful, greedy, irresponsible, ungrateful, and poor stewards of their resources. Mm-hmm. And it's like, this is not my opinion. This is because I talked about garboology. We just go and look at America's trash, and we just see how wasteful we are. So it's not me casting any, judgment upon them. It's like, just look at the trash. Look at the trash. The trash reveals it all. But I say this, it's not, and I just want to keep things in perspective, because it's not just America. It's a global issue.
Yeah.
I say, and this is one of the crazy things when I was just doing my research. I say the largest landfill in the world, which is filled with millions of pounds of plastic, floats in the middle of the ocean. It's not even on a land.
It's crazy.
The world's largest landfill is in the middle of the ocean. It's known as the Great Pacific Garbage Patch. Never even heard of this a day in my life, but apparently it's there. And it's like crazy to think about. I say it's actually two patches, a western and an eastern patch. The eastern patch floats between Hawaii and California and is estimated to be 2 times bigger than Texas. The western patch forms east of Japan and west of Hawaii. Both of these patches are a collection of trash from all over the world. The garbage patch presents numerous hazards to marine life, fishing, and tourism. Due to these garbage patches, more than 1 million birds and marine life die each year from consuming these debris and plastic. And it's like, you would think that most of the garbage that is formed there would come from the boats and stuff. But I was reading, most of the garbage actually comes from the land. And the reason that I made that is because we talk about littering, and we're like, it's not a big deal to litter. But if everybody had that same mindset, and every person just littered once, and there's like millions of people on the earth, and everybody littered, that's 1 million things that just got littered and can potentially end up in these places and destroying the earth and these animals. I say it would appear that humans are destroying the planet that enables them to survive. And like I said, just purely looking at this, not from a biblical worldview, but from a naturalistic worldview. So even though I make fun of the tree huggers, it's like they're pointing out something about us that we don't care. From a naturalistic perspective, humans are pretty terrible people. I say nature provides food, water, and the resources that enable man to create whatever he needs to improve his quality of life. However, by and large, man does not seek to take care of the earth that takes care of him. And it's like, this is just a basic principle that even if you don't believe in the Bible, that you can come to the acknowledgement, man, earth provides all these resources to me. Should I not want to take care of it? And because, again, these things don't necessarily affect us directly, we don't think we're contributing to this large